Hi, my name's Catherine from Catherine Crochets, and in this vlog I thought I'd take you with me along the journey as I create the blanket for this year's Sirdar Christmas Cal. So there's been weeks and weeks of preparation and working on the design and backwards and forwards and meetings and discussions with Sirdar, lots and lots of swatching, trying out different colours, different stitches, tweaking the design, and I've just had the final approval through from Sirdar. The final yarns have been selected, the colours and the amounts of each colour, and I'm all ready to start making the blanket, and I'm so excited. I just can't wait to get stitching it, because I've been thinking about this design for what feels like a very long time now, and I'm so excited to get hooking it up. So I thought I'd take you along with me, show you a bit of this behind the scenes footage, talk about the process as I make the blanket. So let's get going. So obviously one of the most important parts of a blanket design is the yarn that you're going to use, and this is the box of yarn for the blanket, the finally approved selection of 15 balls in the colours that it's going to be made in. So I'll just open it up and we'll have a look. So this is exactly the same as what you will or have already now received for making your own blanket. And I'm going to make my sample with this. I've got samples of these colours already, but this is all brand new fresh yarn to make the actual blanket with, so that I can check that the amounts are all right. So we've got some lovely bright signal red, very festive, 2 balls of that, 1 ball of black, 1 ball, I think, yeah, 1 ball of royal, this nice bright blue. We've got 2 balls in the emerald, dark green. It's looking a little bit lighter on my video than how it appears to me in real life, but that's a really nice rich green. And we've got 1 ball in this chocolate. You can see we've gone for really sort of bold, rich, happy colours. We've got 1 ball in this lovely yellow, which is called Cornfield. It's a really bright, sunny, golden yellow. 3 balls of, this is called lemongrass, this nice grassy green. 2 balls of Zest, which I absolutely love the zinginess of this shade. I'm really pleased that we included this. And of course, 2 balls in cream for white. So we've got lots of greens. We've got 3 different greens: Zest, emerald and lemongrass. We've got white, we've got bright red, so it's going to be really festive. And then we've got these other colours here to add some pops of other colours. So I'm really excited to start hooking up with this yarn. I just wanted to show you this because it's a rather exciting moment for me. This is the first row of the blanket crocheted. I've done it using a foundation stitch, which is my preferred method for starting things in rows. So you'll learn how to do that in the pattern if you haven't already by the time you see this video. So don't worry, I'm not going to show you what I've done after every single row, because I appreciate that would be very tedious and boring, but I am feeling quite chuffed with myself for having got this first row made. So before I did it, obviously the design is finalised and I've made lots and lots of swatches, which I'll share with you a bit more of those later. This is one of them in different colours. But I just did a quick sketch of it again so I could work out exactly how many stitches and rows I wanted for each section of the blanket. So having done some maths, and worked it all out. I worked out I needed 120 stitches in this first row, and I have now done it. And you would not believe how many times I counted the stitches in this row. Oh my goodness. Normally I count things once or twice, but because this is the biggest design I've ever made, most important one, I've counted this so many times. I've lost count of the number of times I've counted the number of stitches in this row. So I am as confident as I can be that there are now the right number of stitches, and I will be ready to start row 2. But yeah, as I said, don't worry, I'm not going to show you every single row, but I'll pop back again a bit later. Oh, one other thing I was going to say is that because I'm still working out the number of stitches and sizes for each section of the blanket, the order I'm making it in is the most logical for me to do that. But I don't know, you will know by now, but I don't think this is going to be where we start the blanket for the crochet along. I think we're going to start it somewhere else, which will be a better way to dive into it for week 1. But this is the most logical place for me to start it in terms of working out the number of stitches. Hi again, thought I'd pop on for a bit of an update. It's the same day. Excuse the rosy cheeks, I think I'm coming down with a bit of a cold or something, even though it's actually May, but I'm powering on and taking lots of vitamin C, so hopefully that will do the trick. But I've done a few rows, so I thought I'd pop on and show you how it's looking. So I'll just flip the camera around. So here we go. I feel like it's looking quite, I was getting kind of crocodile vibes to start with when it was just the green, white and black. Now I've added in the red, I'm thinking I'm getting frog vibes. So hopefully it will start to feel a bit more Christmassy soon. I'm pleased with the progress. As I said, it's taking longer than obviously if I were just following a pattern and making it, because I've been doing so much maths, because I've been working out how much yarn I need to make into these little balls of red to do the carriage and train sections, and yeah, so it's taking a while, but I'm getting there, and I'm pleased with how it's all coming along. And it is so exciting just seeing the design that has just been a picture on paper and a few small swatches up till now actually coming to life as a full-sized, full-blown blanket. So I'm really keen to keep going with this. So I probably won't film anything else for today, but I'll keep you posted when there's sort of significant updates to show you how it's getting on. Hi everyone, so I'm on day 3 of crocheting the blanket now, and I'm happy with the amount of progress I've made. I've nearly finished what I think will be 1 week's worth of the crochet along. So yeah, it's probably going to take me about 2.5 days to crochet 1 week. So as it's going to be a 6-week crochet along, then I'm guessing it's going to take me probably about, if I work, depends how much time I have on weekends, but if I work on it on weekdays, it'll probably take me about 3 weeks, hopefully, to make the whole thing. Although I don't know for sure that what I have in my head is the chunked up 1 week's worth of crochet, whether they'll be equal, or some weeks might be a bit more than others, we'll see. But yeah, it's going quite well, and I'm pleased with how it's looking so far. I started off while I was working on it watching crochet podcasts on YouTube, which I do enjoy watching them, but because I was also writing up the pattern at the same time, and each time I got to a new colourwork section I had to think about how much yarn I was going to need for that section, so there was lots of little calculations and things to make along the way. It was a bit too distracting having that on the screen as well. So yesterday I switched and I listened to some music for a bit, which was very nice, And I've also been listening to an audiobook, which is the biography of Queen Victoria by Lucy Worsley, which I'm really enjoying. I've listened to quite a few of Lucy Worsley's, I think possibly all of them now, all of her other biographies of Jane Austen. Is there another one? Can't remember. But yeah, she writes these biographies in a really interesting and enjoyable way. So I'm enjoying listening to that as I've been crocheting. So she's just about to get married. She's just proposed to Prince Albert, and she's just about to get married to him. She's had her coronation, she's queen, and yeah, she's just about to get married to Prince Albert. So we'll see how that goes later today. And I've been listening to some audio podcasts as well, like the Making Stitches podcast, which I really enjoy listening to. So I'll catch up with you again in a bit. So it's the end of day 3 of crocheting for me now, and I think I'm going to call it a day now. I need to get some dinner on, but I am very happy with how it's looking currently. I'm finding it super addictive. I could just sit here and crochet and crochet and crochet, but I think my family would be upset if they don't have any dinner. So I'm going to call it a day for today. Hello. So it's day 5 now, and I've just finished crocheting the train panel, and I thought I'd just pop on to show it to you because I'm feeling rather pleased with it. So here it is in all its glory. Obviously there's lots more details to add to it, but I've been working on this and how I think it's going to be divided up into weeks, and I think this will be 2 weeks worth of the crochet along, and then adding the extra details will be a separate week because this is quite a bit of work. So it uses a mixture of tapestry and intarsia, and I'm really pleased with how it turned out. And it was really fun adding the edges. There's 2 rows of crochet down each side, which then like links up the track and makes it jute round like that. So that was really fun, just adding that final touch. Yeah, so speaking of fun, I have really enjoyed making this, and while I've been making it, I've just been thinking, wondering how you're all going to find it when you make it, and I really hope you enjoy it as much as I am, because I know it's my design, but I've been really excited to keep going to see how it turns out and build more onto it. And I'm excited to add the extra details and grow the blanket, add all the extras to it. So I really hope, this is my big wish for this crochet along, is that you will just enjoy it and are as excited about making it as I am. So I've just popped the camera on a tripod because I think the filming was a little bit wobbly, and my arm was starting to ache as well. So yeah, as I said, the amount of crochet I've done, I think it represents about 2 weeks of the crochet along. So hopefully that's about 1/3 of the total amount of crochet. It'll be a 6-week crochet along, although you probably know that already by the time you're watching this. And it's taken me a week. It's Friday today. I started it on Monday, and it's taken me a week to get that far. And I've been writing up the pattern as I go along. So all the pattern is written for this now. So that's great. It's May half term tomorrow, and we're actually off to Jersey. So I'm really pleased to have got to this stage now. It's nearly lunchtime. So this afternoon, I'm going to put this away. Got a bit of laundry to sort out, packing to sort out, and getting ready because we're off bright and early tomorrow morning to catch a plane to go to Jersey. So really excited about that. And then I'll have a little break for a few days. We're just going away for a few days, so I'll have a little break for a few days, and then I'll be itching to get back to it as soon as we get back, I'm sure, next week, and crack on with the next sections. So I'll catch up with you again in a few days when I get back to it. Hello, so I'm back from holiday now. We had a really lovely time away in Jersey, seeing family, celebrating my grand's 100th birthday, doing some lovely coastal walks and eating lots of nice food. But it felt so good to have something really exciting that I was looking forward to come back to, because I couldn't wait to continue working on the blanket as soon as I got back. So I've made a little bit of progress already. This time I'm working on, so as you know, I finished the kind of base of the train panel. There's still things to add to it on top of it, but that's finished. So before adding the extra details and things onto that, I'm now working on the section to the left of the train panel, which is, I'm sure by the time I release this video, you'll have seen the pattern. So there's a square with a Santa's hat at the top, the nice list, and a square at the bottom with a stocking on it. So I've made the two squares, they're solid granny squares with the Santa's hat, with nice loopy stitch pom-pom, and what do you call this, like the fairy trim, also loop stitch. So I've made a Santa's hat. If it doesn't look completely symmetrical, that's correct, it's not supposed to be. I was trying to get a kind of slouchy feel, not a perfect triangle, because I figured it's never a perfect triangle, is it? And then this is the one for the bottom, which is a stocking, which I'm quite pleased with. This I really like the green and white stripes, and I think they show up really well against this. It's called Zest, this colour, I think, isn't it? Let me just check. Yeah, Zest. Yeah, I love the zinginess of it, and I think it's a great contrast for the red and green, and it's also got this nice loopy top to it. So I'm really happy with how those two squares turned out. And now I'm working on the nice list. So it's a bit of shaping at the bottom to get the kind of shape of the paper, the idea that it's kind of folding a little bit or rolling at the bottom, and then they'll be the same in the opposite direction at the top. So yeah, this section is going quite quickly, because there's relatively quickly, because in terms of pattern writing, there's a bit of maths working out how many stitches, how wide to make it, how tall to make it so it fits up next to the train panel. But apart from that, like making the solid granny squares, obviously they're quite relaxing to do. So hopefully there's a mixture really in making this of bits where you really need to focus and lots of interest and detail, and you need to concentrate on what you're doing. But then there's also some sections where it's much more once you've started, you know what you're doing, you can relax a bit and get into crochet. So hopefully you'll find or be finding that there's a nice balance between the two different types of crochet. I've just finished off the Santa's hat square, the stocking square, and the nice list panel, and put all the edging on. So I've laid it all out just to see how it's looking. Obviously there's lots of ends still to sew in, but I'm quite pleased with it. My daughter's just doing her music practice, so if you can hear some scales in the background, I'm not sure if the microphone's picking them up or not, that's what it is. But anyway, yeah, really pleased with how it's looking. And the next bit I'm going to work on will be adding all the details to this train panel here. Hello, it's Saturday afternoon at the end of half term, and the rest of the family are out at the moment, so I thought I'd take the opportunity to spend a bit of time and make a bit more progress on the blanket. So I can't remember exactly what stage I was when I last filmed. I don't think I filmed anything yesterday, but I finished off the nice list with the Father Christmas hat and the stocking, and those three sections are joined together. So that's all ready to join on to the train panel. So that's going away to one side for a little bit, and I'm working on adding all the extra bits and pieces onto the train panel. So to start with, as you've just seen in the video, I'm making the bows to go on the presents like this, and these are made with foundation half treble crochet stitches. So I've just made the ribbon, one ribbon for this green one. Just need to, I count the stitches as I do them, but I just need to count them again to make sure there's the right amount. Then I'll fasten it off and then just sew that back on itself to make the loop, and another one, and then work across making the ones for these two other presents as well. And then there's various appliques to be made and added on. The first of which I've started tackling, but there's quite a few of them, so I'm kind of mixing them up a little bit, and obviously you can do the same, although the pattern will be written all of them in one go. But it's to make 32 wheels for the train. So as you'll have seen, there's 4 rows of 4, an engine, and then 15 carriages. So there's 16 pairs of wheels to make, so 32 wheels in total. So 16 of them are going to be blue and white, and I've made 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 of these already. So I've got 4 more blue and white ones to make. I've sewn in all of the ends, but just left one slightly longer one, probably too long, but I always like to have plenty. I've left one end for attaching it to the blanket, so I've got to make 4 more blue and white wheels, and then 16 green and white ones as well, and then I'll add those onto the blanket and start work on the other appliques. So that's where we are at the moment. Actually, I just thought I'd show you my desk at the moment, which has got, I'll go through and show you all of my swatches in a bit and add it in this video in case you're interested, but this has got all of the sample appliques that I've made laid out on my desk. They look quite funny there, I think, so I just thought I'd show you. That's just there so I can copy them or make any changes that I need to. Some of the colours will be a bit different, but generally I think the stitch patterns will all be the same. So I've got the appliques all laid out on my desk ready for when I come to making them and making the actual ones for the blanket, and writing up the pattern for them. So the bows are, well, sort of made, not quite. I just need to sew them in to make them as a loop, like I did with the yellow one already. But it is really hot today, especially in this room. I've got the blind shut, but there's still quite a bit of sun coming in. So I'm going to move to the garden and work on the train wheels because they're nice and small. So I'm going to have to leave it there for today, or for now. I might do a bit more this evening. But I've finished off the blues and I've made 4 of the green and white ones. So I'm quite pleased with the progress. And it's been really nice sitting out here in the garden, listening to the birds. I'm not sure if you can hear that. And crocheting outside. I don't often crochet outside, so it's been really nice to do that for a change. And I was thinking actually that the weather today is probably completely different to what it will be like when you're doing the Cal later this year. At least for those of you in the northern hemisphere, you'll probably be inside, as will I. But yeah, it's been lovely crocheting outside in the garden for a bit. Hello, so it's Sunday today and I haven't had that much time for crochet. Went to the gym first thing with my husband, then there was a big pile of ironing to tackle unfortunately, but then we did get out for a really nice walk in the sunshine after lunch. But this afternoon I found a little bit more time to work on the wheels and I'm really happy that now all 32 of them are made. So I'll just show them to you now. So here they are. As you can see, I've laid them all out neatly on the table. This is our dining table and I think they look really smart. I've sewn in all the ends apart from one for each of them, which I'll use to sew them on to the blanket. So that will be tomorrow's job and I'm really looking forward to seeing how they will look. I was a little bit worried before I started making them all that it might feel like a bit of a chore making 32 of them, which is quite a lot, but they're in 2 different colours, so it's, oh, that's our timer, just a sec. Sorry about that, that was just some chicken in the oven. Yeah, but there's 32 different different wheels and 2 different colours. So it's only 16 of each, which 16's much more manageable, I think. And also it's only 2 rounds of crochet. So they are actually quite quick to work up, which gives them that kind of like addictive, I'll just make one more, because they don't take very long at all. So when you think, oh, I should probably stop crocheting now, you think, oh, I'll just make one more, or I did, and so they worked up much quicker than I was expecting, which I was pleased about because I was a bit worried that they might feel like a bit of a chore. So hopefully when you get to this bit in the blanket, it won't be too much of a chore for you either, and you'll be able to just crack on with it and get them all made, because they do look really good, and I think the reward of getting to add them onto the blanket afterwards as well will hopefully be enough motivation to get through them and make them all. Good afternoon, it is Monday today and I'm feeling good after the success of making all of my train wheels over the weekend, and I've started work now on the appliques, so the toys and things to add on to the different train carriages. So the one I've started with, just a moment. The one I've started with is the candy cane, which will be sewn on top of one of the train carriages. Just sewing in the ends for that one now. And then next up I'm going to make the ball, and then I've got 9 appliques to do in total. I'm just looking at the picture, this design sketch that I'm working from. I've got 9 appliques to do in total, and then some overlay crochet as well. So yeah, I'm hoping to get all the appliques done. It's nearly 2 o'clock on Monday now, and I can work for about another couple of hours or so. My daughter's got a club after school. She's doing athletics this term on a Monday, so that means I don't have to pick her up till 5 o'clock. So I can keep going on this until gone 4 o'clock. So yeah, and tomorrow hopefully I'll get a good day's work in as well. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I'm hoping I'm going to get all the appliques done by the end of tomorrow, and then it'll be sewing them on and doing the overlay crochet stuff, and then I cannot wait. I'm really excited to get on to the week after that, which is the granny spike stitch side panels, which I just love that stitch pattern, and I think it's just going to be really nice and fun and relaxing to work up, fingers crossed. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting onto that bit in a few days. Yeah, so it's all going well. Yeah, one thing I've noticed as I'm working on things like this, I've got a little like voice going in my head, because in about towards the end of July I'm gonna be going up to Sirdar HQ to film the video tutorials for the blanket. So I've got that kind of at the back of my mind while I'm making everything, and I've found that I've got a kind of voice in my head as I'm making something. I'm imagining it's for one of the tutorials, and I'm thinking about the kind of things I might want to say or mention, or, oh, by the way, if you do this or that or the other. So I'm sure it will all just completely go out of my mind, or hopefully not completely, but I'm sure I won't remember all of it when I come to make the actual tutorials. But well, obviously if things come up during the KAL, I can mention them. It's really weird to think I'm sitting here filming this now, and it's the 2nd of June today, and you guys are going to be making this in October, November time. And yeah, so if you are making it now, which I can't imagine at the moment, the idea of this going, it's just me in my little room at home, and at some point later this year it's going to go out into the world and people will see what I've been working on for these months. But anyway, if you're making it now, do let me know in the comments and say hi and which bit you're working on, if you're working on it while you're watching this, and if you're enjoying it. Hopefully you are. I hope you are. Where in the world you are, where you're making it. Yeah, I'd love to hear. And obviously if you've not joined the Facebook group, I should say go over and join that as well, because there's lots of friendly people over there where you can share your progress on the blanket and get help and support and that sort of thing as well. But yeah, I really hope you guys all enjoy making it as much as I am designing it. But yeah, that's it from me for now. I'll come back again in a bit when I've made a few more of the appliques to show you how they're all going. Hello, back again. It is Wednesday today, and I have just finished all of the appliques, and I've laid them out on the blanket, so I'll show you how that looks in just a sec. It took a little bit longer than expected, or than anticipated for, sorry, just adjusting how I'm holding the phone. Yeah, it took a little bit longer than anticipated for a couple of reasons. One was that while most of the appliques, well, all of the appliques I had previously made, you can just see behind me here on the screen the sketch that I'm working from. I just noticed that. Yeah, whilst I had previously made all of the appliques, some in different colours that I was working from, there were one or two, well, two, that took me longer to remake than the others. Most of them it was really fast. I could see exactly how I'd made them, and I just had to remake them in the yarn for the blanket, so that, well, if they were in different colours, so they're in the right colours, and even if they were already exactly how I wanted them to be, I had to remake them using the yarn for the blanket, so I could keep track of exactly how much yarn is used. So for most of them it was absolutely fine, but two of them I had a little bit of a problem with. One of them was the ball, and the reason for this was that although I had made it before, it didn't lie completely flat, and I think it would have been okay when you sew it onto the blanket, and it would have been flat, but I think I would have found it annoying knowing that when you made the ball itself it wasn't flat, and I think some of you probably would too. So I wanted to tweak the design, not much, but just tweak the stitches of the ball a little bit to get it so that when you make it, it does lie flat. And that took me about 3 hours to sort out this little ball. I'll show it to you, hold on. So this is it now here, and you can see it lies flat. But yeah, the original one wasn't flat, so I'm happy with it now. It's all lying flat, but it did take me, well, like a whole afternoon, a good 2 or 3 hours to sort it out. So that was one hold up. The other hold up was the hobby horse, which, although I didn't want to make any changes to it, because of the amount of detail that's sort of added onto it, you do a trim around the edge, you then do some overlay bridle on it. It wasn't that easy to see exactly how I'd made it in the first place. So that didn't take me quite so long to sort out, but it did take me a couple of attempts to get it sorted. But they're all done now, and I've just laid them out on the blanket, so I'll show it to you now. Hello. It's a new day. I've been busy working on a couple of other things today, a blog post that I'm publishing tomorrow, and it's quite a big blog post. It's a roundup of tips and advice from lots of different crochet designers sharing how they choose colours, how they select colours for their crochet blankets. So I was busy editing that, putting it all together this morning because I'm quite excited to get that published. And I've also been sending out a pattern for testing, which is for my Nepali blanket, which is a blue blanket with little white puffy clouds going around the edges. And by the time you see this video, that pattern should be out in the world unless something unforeseen happens. But anyway, so yeah, I've been a bit distracted by those two projects this week. So I have been making small amounts of progress each day on this blanket, the Christmas blanket for Sirdar. And I finished off the surface crochet last night. So I'll show you that now, and then I will add on all of the appliques. So there wasn't actually too much surface crochet to add. I think I had in my head there was more, but we've got this little puff of, I think it's steam, isn't it, that comes out the funnel of a train as opposed to smoke. I did it in white anyway. Well, white can be smoke or steam. And then all these links here between the carriages in black, and then down around here. And then I did the mast for the boat, and then on the drum I did the top and bottom of the drum, and then this sort of the string, the yellow string, a bit more of the couplings between the carriages, and then the ABC on the blocks, and more couplings between the carriages. So that's it. So there will be a little bit more surface crochet to add at the end, which will be in the top right corner up here, but I'm not going to add that until I put the kite here so that I can see exactly where to do its tail and its bows. So next up I'm gonna just film a quick video laying out all the appliques on the blanket, and then I'll sew them all on. So I'll show you how it's looking once all that's done. Hello everyone. So it's been a few days since I last chatted to you about how things are going. I have been filming a few things so you can see what I've been working on. You will have just seen that, but I thought I'd just pop on to talk you through what I've done and tell you a little bit about how it's been going. So yeah, it's been a few days, and you might have noticed that there's been a bit of a change of scenery from where I'm normally working, and that's because my daughter's French exchange partner arrived with us on Sunday. It's now Tuesday, and so she's staying in the room where I normally crochet. So I've been setting myself up here at the dining table, which actually is quite a nice spot. The only downside is that because I'm typing the pattern up as I go along, I'm doing it on my Surface, and it's a much smaller screen, whereas when I'm in my in the office, it's got a nice big screen, so I can have it nice and big, which I do prefer. But for a change of scenery, it is quite nice down here. So yeah, over the weekend, I think it was over the weekend, end of last week, I finished sewing on all of the appliques onto the train panel, and you'll have seen a bit of footage of that. And then a real change of style of crochet after that, and I've made the two side panels of the granny spike stitch section, which was really fun to work up. Such a nice change of sort of tempo and style of crocheting as well. So I hope when you get to these bits you enjoy them too. Two of those, one on each side. So I was happy how they've turned out, and I've just finished, and then it's going to be the same. You'll have seen the final design by now, but it's the same type of section, top and bottom as well, and I've just finished the top one of that. So it's got mosaic crochet, red and white stripes, then this loop stitch with little red berries popping through, and here little yellow. They're supposed to be like a little suggestion of a little sort of golden bell, and then more mosaic. So I've just finished the first section of this now at the top, and I'm just going to do exactly the same, but turn the blanket over and work it at the bottom. And then it's just the four corner bells and elf hats, and then the final trim all around the outside. So I really feel like I'm getting sort of onto the final home straight now, as it were. Although those last rounds, going all the way around, they always take longer than you expect on blankets, don't they? So yeah, I need to allow myself enough time for that. And then just matter of the ends on the back to sew in, which I have been doing some of them as I go along, but not quite all of them, because I've always been too excited to get on to the next section. Yeah, so hopefully I'll have it finished in the next few days, and then I'll take a few photos and pop it in the post and send it off up to Sirdar. Yeah, getting close now. I'm feeling quite excited about it. Oh, another little change that you might have spotted is that I got new glasses on. I picked them up yesterday afternoon. So if you're wondering why things look a little bit different, it's just new glasses. Yeah, so I'll pop back again, with another update when I've done a bit more. One other thing I was going to say is that now we're getting near the end. I'm on my last ball so for several of the colours there's more than one ball of yarn, and I'm getting to being on the last ball of yarn for each colour, which is good because it means there's not too much, but it's also thinking about, is there enough, and whether I'm going to have to make any adjustments to the final few rounds of the border design, either to perhaps put in an extra round to use up a bit more of some colours if there's too much, or not too much, but if there's lots left over, that I could put in an extra round perhaps. Or I don't think it's the case, but if we're running low on any, then we'll see if anything like that needs tweaking. But so that I've got that kind of at the back of my mind as well at the moment, like really keeping a close eye on how the colours are going down and how much is going to be left at the end. So fingers crossed it all works out and balances nicely, and there's no major tweaks needed. Because I've never designed a blanket like this before, where you're given your budget 15 balls of yarn, loads of different colours. It's not just one straightforward pattern where you can just make a swatch and calculate really accurately how much yarn you're going to need. So many different elements to it. So it's it was a bit of a challenge estimating how much yarn it would need at the beginning. So I really hope that when I get to the end, the estimates are have all been reasonable, and they're not way over or way under. At the moment, it's looking fine. So hopefully it will stay that way. Good morning, it's Friday today. Been working on the corner panels, the final small corner panels with the elf hats and the bells over the last day or so, and they're nearly done. I've just been working on the little bell appliques to sew on, and then I've just got the final rounds of the border going all the way around the whole thing, and then a few ends to sew in. I've been working on them. I've got quite a pile of ends that I have sewn in already. I've been working on them a bit, so it's not too many to go. Anything I'm a little bit concerned about is the fact that the temperature has just gone up again. It's not been too hot the last couple of weeks, so it's not been bad weather really for working on a blanket. Plus quite a lot of it has been made in small pieces, so I've not been sitting under the whole thing. However, for the last few rounds, I'm going to try and do them, spread them out on the dining table, the blanket out on the dining table, and just make sure I've got lots of space to be able to turn the whole thing around, because normally I'd have it on my lap and I think I'll just melt at the moment because the temperature for us it's quite warm. I think it's like 26 degrees, which is really warm for me, for us here, maybe not for where you are, but yeah, so I think I'll melt. So I'm hoping I can do those last few rounds on the table. Hopefully when you get to this part you won't have this issue, because I'm guessing for many of you it will be winter, and it'll be quite nice to sit under a nice thick cozy blanket and keep warm while you crochet. But it is not ideal timing for me to be doing this bit, but hey ho. Yeah, what's quite funny though is we're all thinking, oh, it's getting quite warm, and my daughter's French exchange partner, who's with us at the moment, she's getting up in the morning wearing jeans, putting a sweatshirt on, putting her cagoule on before she leaves the house. There was a shower yesterday, but you know, so it wasn't ridiculous to take a cagoule with you, but I would have packed it in a bag, I wouldn't have worn it. So I think my daughter's going to France with her next week, and the temperatures are, I think, around 30 degrees. So she's obviously used to much warmer weather than this, and isn't really in particularly summer clothes at all. She's just wearing spring clothes, and we're all thinking, gosh, this is the peak of summer. But yeah, it's funny how you get used to different temperatures, isn't it? And for some people, they might find one temperature really hot, and other people are used to it and it's just not hot for them at all. But that's nothing to do with crochet really, is it? So yeah, I'll gonna finish off the bell panels this morning. I need to do the little red bows to go on the top and attach them, and then hopefully I'll make a start on the final border today as well, this afternoon, and fingers crossed I'll have it all done by the end of the weekend. We'll see. I'm not quite sure yet how much time I'm going to have to crochet over the weekend. We've got a bit of airport runs and taking my other daughter to a birthday party and things like that, so see how it all fits in. But I think Sunday's looking quite quiet at the moment, so hopefully I'll be able to get a good bit done then. So I'll check in with you again in a bit. Morning. It's Monday the 16th of June today, and as you can see I'm back up in my normal crochet room. My daughter's French exchange partner and my daughter have both gone back to France. They went on Saturday morning, and I think my daughter's having a wonderful time there. The weather is hot and sunny, and she's seeing lots of beautiful scenery in the Alps, so she's loving that. And I am really close now to finishing the blanket. I'm on, you can see I can hardly stop crocheting because I'm just really excited to finish it off. I'm on the penultimate round of the border. I'm over halfway done on this round, which is just a simple double crochet round, or single crochet in US terms, and then there'll be one more round to go, which also is a relatively simple stitch. I'll just show you what I've done. So the border round started with a round in red first. It's not too obvious here, but you can see it more in other sections of the blanket. And I think as the light's shining through, you can't see it very well. Let me put this behind it, that might help. Yeah, the white round I really like. Yeah, that's better. You can see it a bit better now. That's called Star Stitch. And I've been looking forward to adding this stitch into the blanket. It was when I first started kind of brainstorming ideas for this project, I was like looking for Christmassy stitches, and Star Stitch was one that I found, and I've not used it before, but I tried it, and yeah, straight away I mean the design at that stage was nothing like this one. Was going in quite a different direction before we sort of honed it in on this Centres Workshop theme. But even when the kind of theme of the blanket changed, I knew I still wanted to incorporate this Star Stitch somewhere, because it was just really pretty, and it's quite a different, if you've not done it before, it's not hard at all, but it's quite a different way of making a crochet stitch, if you like, of working into your work. So I found it really fun to do something a bit different. So I hope you'll enjoy it all too. So yeah, it's really close to being finished now. Then the pattern's nearly written up as well. As you know, I'm writing out as I go along, so hopefully I'll finish this today. I've been keeping on top of the ends. There's not too many left, a few more to go, but yeah, hopefully I'll get it all finished today. I can take some final pictures, do some final measurements and bits and pieces tomorrow morning, and get it all posted off to Sirdar. And then the next stage will be in just over a month, me going up to Sirdar in Wakefield to film the tutorials. So yeah, that will be fun. And then I think things will start to feel sort of a bit more real then. At the moment, obviously it's all, and it still will be secret for a good few more months, but yeah, I think like actually seeing people in person and having other people besides just my family seeing the design, well they've seen the sketch of it, but having them see the finished blanket, yeah, will be quite nice. And so obviously my daughter's French exchange partner, I've been working on it all week while she was here, so she's seen it as well. I couldn't hide it, it's too big, and I was working on it in the evenings as well when they were home from school and their days out. So she's seen it, and just before she left, my husband swore her to secrecy. Not that I mean she doesn't crochet, she says she has friends that crochet, but she doesn't. And I mean, she didn't mention that her parents or anyone else in her family does, she just mentioned some friends. So I think the secret's safe with her. But yeah, it is really close now, and very exciting. So yeah, I'll check back in with you again in a bit. Probably it'll be when it's all finished, because like I say, there's not much to go. I've been keeping track of the yarn, because the amount of yarn I use, obviously we don't want too much left over. So where were we using, there's a few colours like the dark black, brown and blue where there's plenty left that, you know, they've just been used for a few sort of details, especially the brown and the black in the blanket. But the other colours, all the greens, the white, the red, there's multiple balls of those colours. So obviously we want to make sure we use all the balls and don't have whole balls left over, but then equally you can't have, when I finish making this, there can't be too little left over of any colour. It can't be too close, because then everyone crochets differently, and if there will be people out there who perhaps crochet more loosely than me, and you know, there's just going to be variations. No, we're not all going to be spot on and exactly the same with how we crochet, even when you try and meet gauge and things. So hopefully, yeah, there's plenty left, not too much, but a good chunk left of each colour yarn. So even if you do use a bit more yarn than I have, that hopefully that won't be an issue. There's enough left of each colour. I'm saying this in a very roughly long-winded way, aren't I? But yeah, there should be plenty of yarn left, which is a big relief, because obviously when you start this, you estimate how much yarn you're going to need, and it's hard to know for sure with so many different sections, but it's all seems to be working out fine. So yeah, that is good news. Yeah, and that's about it for now. So yeah, I'll check in with you again in a bit when there's yeah, when it's finished. Hello, so it's Tuesday now, and as you'll have seen from that bit of footage, the blanket is finished. Yay! Yeah, I finished off the border yesterday and all the ends are sewn in. There you go, that's the final edging. Weighed all the yarn, taken the final measurements, taken photos and videos, and I now need to arrange sending it all off, well, the blanket off to Sirdar so that they have it, which it feels quite funny actually. I've been working on this for so long, and I'm now it's finished. I'm only having it for a very short time, maybe like 24 hours, and then it'll be gone. But I will see it again, obviously, for filming the tutorials, which will be nice. And yeah, I'm excited to send it to Sirdar and see what they think of it, and hopefully they like it. I'm feeling quite, like, obviously really pleased that it's made it, that I've finished the blanket, that I've made it. And it has really been, these last few weeks or these last few months, the whole design process and collaborating with Sirdar, it's been quite amazing, and like my biggest crochet challenge ever. And it's not finished yet, and I was talking to my husband and sort of reflecting on it and the design last night, because it's very different to anything that I've designed before, and I think that's where the challenges obviously have arisen. And because most of my designs, if you're familiar with any of them, I tend to have a repeating pattern throughout the whole design. But obviously if you're designing a crochet along like this, where each week of the 6 weeks is something different for people to do, then you need a lot more variety in the design that you're making. So that's then presents some kind of unique challenges, and it's quite a different style of designing things to what I'm used to. So yeah, obviously there's different sections made with different stitches, and then they all combine together to make a final result. So hopefully you will like it, or I'm sure you won't all like it, but hopefully lots of people do like it and have a lot of fun making this blanket and enjoying all the different sections. And I'm sure that there will be some sections that are more popular than others, and different people will have different favourite sections, and that of course is absolutely fine. There's lots of new stitches and techniques in this blanket. Hopefully you'll find something new and something enjoyable that you do for the first time, and you're pleased and happy to have done that. So yeah, if you are crocheting along making this blanket now, or if you're watching this later and you've perhaps already made the blanket, do let me know which bits were your favourite sections, because I know what mine are, but it'd be lovely to hear what yours are as well. So yeah, drop a comment and let me know. It'd be great to hear. And yeah, I'm gonna package it all up now and send it. Sirdar said to send it in the most secure method I can find, so I'm investigating what the best delivery option is available to me here. and yeah, get it sent off to them, and hopefully I'll very soon hear confirmation that it's arrived safely, because it would be awful if something happened to it. Although the pattern is written, so worst case we have complete instructions to remake it. But yeah, hopefully that won't happen. That would be awful, wouldn't it? Imagine if that happened. But yeah, feeling really pleased, and also these last couple of days really, I've been thinking about what to make next, and because I've just been so focused on this project, and to start with I was mixing it up with other things, but as in the first week or so, but as it got closer to the end and I really wanted to get it done, I've just been 100% focused on this project and getting it done, and not really had time or taken time in the last week or so to read, which I really enjoy. So I'm looking forward to having a bit of time to just not do so much. I will of course keep crocheting, but not do quite so much crochet for a few days, and do a bit of reading again, catch up on the book that I'm reading. And yeah, last night I did a little bit of knitting in the evening once this was finished and all the ends were sewn in. Just for a change, I did a little bit of knitting, but I've got a few other projects that are on the go, a couple of other crochet projects, I think, at least one I'm thinking of that I'm looking forward to picking up again. And it's nice, it's not my pattern, someone else's pattern, just really repetitive, relaxing. I don't need to think, I don't need to write up what I'm doing while I'm doing it, so I'm really looking forward to doing that. And then filming the tutorials, going up to see Sirdar in a few weeks, in about a month I think, yeah, just over a month, filming the tutorials. And then I can't wait till the autumn later this year, when hopefully lots of you will be joining in and making your own Christmas blankets with me. So yeah, happy crocheting, and I think this is the end of this vlog now. I think, yeah, I'll finish it here. I haven't yet. I was going to talk through the design process and the swatches. I haven't filmed that bit yet, but I think what I might do is film it and insert it earlier. So you're probably wondering what on earth I'm talking about, because I think I will have inserted this in editing earlier in the vlog. But behind the scenes, there you go, I'm actually filming it later. Yeah, so happy crocheting and thanks for watching. Bye bye.